Hey guys, big shock on this one, but two guys decided to go down to the pool and beat the brakes off some women. Transgender swimmers Leah Thomas, Iszac Henig posts fastest times at Ivy League championships. Who could have possibly seen this happening? If you probably have heard of Leah Thompson before. That's a big old dude who goes down to the pool who didn't quite, measure up to the competition in the male division and just decided, Jesus Christ, it's probably easier to just slap on a one piece and fucking just demolish some records. Sounds like fun now, doesn't it? So she, whatever, hopped in the pool, right there on the screen, obviously, but was getting real close to like those all-time records when it came to the fastest times in the pool, and 1600 I think, and 400, and then the 200 races as well, beating other ladies by like 36 seconds and multiple laps. Of course, it was hilarious because trans women are women, god damn it, right? And then you got this other one here, okay, so Iszac Henig, which is kind of funny as well because they're transitioning, okay? I don't know what their fucking pronouns are, nor do I really care, but Iszac Henig is a female transitioning to a male, and yet, okay, thanks to the glorious wonders of the hormone replacement, there's no difference between men and women, okay? Because, whatever you say you are, that's what you are, yay, go queen. But as soon as you introduce testosterone into the system, boy, does that really give you an unfair advantage. So it doesn't matter what side you fall on this one. If you think that this is barbaric brutalization and the downfall of women's sports, all you need to do is just point and see that, as soon as women get some testosterone, some shit goes on there and some fucking performance ends up going through the roof. And then, of course, if you're on the, it doesn't matter what you are, just a homogenous worldview. If you're a woman, you're a woman. All you need to do is just take a look at this and see that, hormones are what's at play here. That's the common denominator. That's what's making the fucking difference. Transgender swimmers Leah Thomas and Iszac Henig had the two top times in the 800 freestyle and the Ivy League swimming and diving championships on Wednesday night. Penn's Thomas and Yale's Henig started the events for their respective squads. Thomas, who transitioned from male to female, got a bit of a challenge from Henig, who is transitioning from female to male. Oh, okay, cool. So one person who was already started up here when it came to testosterone. I know I'm off camera. There we go. Started up here when it comes to testosterone. They're on their way down. And then you got Henig on the other side. No relations to Kurt, I'd imagine. But then they're starting down here and then they're coming up. So what? They met in the middle? And where's the rest of these broads here out on the other side? Well, they're just all down here wondering, what the fuck do we got to do in order to compete? Maybe our supporting of all of this woke shit is just meaning that lesser athletes are just going to dominate the competition for the foreseeable future. You get the fucking bed you made. And considering this is women's sports, maybe you should just be doing that instead of just this fucking mockery of lesser activities. Anyways, and Thomas and Yale's Henig started the events for their respective squads. Thomas, who transitioned from male to female, yes, got a bit of a challenge from Henig, who transitioned from female to male and competing as a woman, which, okay, it boggles the mind as well. But if they're transitioning from female to male, one would think, okay, that if trans men are men, wouldn't they be participating in the men's category? Or is this just whatever you feel like on the day? Or what are we really doing here? Welcome to Clown World. God, I'm glad we're ending the day on this nonsense. Thomas swam behind Henig for much of the first leg to get a good view before the next Penn swimmer jumped into the water. Thomas was barely in first place after the first leg, finishing with 1:44.50, while Henig had a 44.65 in the two fastest splits in the competition. Where did everybody else finish? That's what I want to know. Neither team, though, would win the overall race, with Harvard rallying for victory. Yeah, they should you guys should probably just have a couple more dudes on your team. Or, some non-committal trans athletes. That'd be fine. Neither team, Yale finished second, and Penn's team, which also included Margot Kazarowski, Anna Sophia Kazadance, and Bridget O'Leary. It was probably the Irish the Irish broad who probably held everybody back. She was carrying too many potatoes in her fucking swimsuit, let's be fair. Finished third. Wow. It had that moose run the anchor. That would have been better. As you can see, oh, everybody was so happy because, you know, at least one person succeeded on that team. At the awards ceremony, fans could be heard cheering for the Quakers. Is that the Penn team? As the team was announced for third place. Oh, it is. Thomas and her teammates. Okay. Were posing for pictures while on the medal stand. One of them stood head and shoulders above the rest of the competition. Penn finished in 5th place in the 200-yard medley. Princeton won that event. Ivy League championships are set to run from Wednesday to Saturday. Harvard is leading the championships overall, with Princeton, Yale, Penn, and Brown rounding out the top 5. And there's this dude there. You know what else is funny about this? He, I guess, as you can tell by the titty scars and the replaced nipples, isn't in the greatest of shape, but still managed to post like the second best time. How bad was that fucking Thomas back when he was competing on the men's team? Just questions. But there she is, stunning and brave for the Penn team there on the right. And is that Thomas on the, or is that Henig? These people are weird. All the way on the left. Okay. And there's that one girl in the middle being like, what am I doing here? Thomas has been drawn into the national spotlight due to the debate over whether transgender female athletes should be able to compete against biological females in sporting events. Well, now if women can just decide to start injecting testosterone into themselves and to transition, I don't see what the problem is. It looks like it's merely somebody's going to have to reconcile with actual fucking biology at some point, but we'll eventually get there. We'll just enjoy the freak show for the time being. She received the all clear to compete in the conference championship in the days leading up to it. She is expected, who are we talking about here? To compete in several individual events over the course of the week. I want updates, including the 200 free, 500 free, 1000 free, and the 1650 free. I think it was the 2, the 5, and the 1650 where Thomas was so stunning and brave and destroying the competition previously. And considering this was earlier in the week, we actually do, and they went head-to-head a couple more times, and transgender swimmers Iszac Henig and Leah Thomas continue to dominate at Ivy League Women's Championships, which is a debatable term. Henig eclipses pool record in 50 freestyle, while Thomas beats next closest competitor in 500 free by 5 seconds. Now she can actually take the fucking restrictions off on this one, because we could all fucking tell, realistically. You showed up the first time and you were just smoking chicks and leaving them in your wake. And then all of a sudden, oh gosh darn it, it looks like a couple of those girls decided to catch up just magically. What did you just, one of your massive lats got in the way and you just weren't quite so aerodynamic under the water? We understand. But now because the championships are on the line, you can just take off all the restrictors. It doesn't much matter what you need to do. Now you can just go out there and win one for the team, right? Transgender swimmer Iszac Henig and Leah Thomas remained unbeatable at the Ivy League Women's Championship on Thursday. Testosterone BTFO'd women's sports, with one smashing a record and both leaving their biological female competitors, hey, they're also women too, you shut your whore mouth, in the wake during the second day of the events at Harvard University. All the big brains there were just clapping and just saying how trans women are women, or trans men are also able to compete with women. We haven't quite figured out a catchy slogan for that one yet. Thomas, who swam for University of Pennsylvania men's team as recently as 2019, that's in the past. That's a dead name. Don't you bring up the past, you bigot. Says she began medically transitioning to a woman. Are you following up on those hormone replacements? Or maybe you'll be just a little bit more active in that after the meet. Recorded the fastest time of all the swimmers in the women's 500 freestyle preliminary heat by a full 5 seconds. I bet you that looked hilarious on replays. Finishing at 4 minutes, 41 seconds, and 19... whatever, partial seconds. 5 seconds shy of the event's meet record, and 6 less than the all-time NCAA record. Meanwhile, Henig, who swims for Yale and is in the process of transitioning from female to male, but is allowed to compete as a woman because she has yet to take any testosterone. Really? Just, you know what, has other surgeries in the way. Beat the pool record in the 50-yard freestyle by nearly 3/10 of a second with a time of 22.05. It was them pesky titties that were in the way, just holding them back. Both are now favored to capture their events in the final, which are scheduled for tonight, as the controversy over NCAA's decision to allow them to compete Oh, continues to swirl. No. Oh my God. Just a bunch of bigots that you have there. Even though I would contest, okay, based on the way that fat is accumulating, I would say testosterone's in the system. But again, I don't have any of the records. This is just merely speculation. What do I know? On Wednesday, the two clashed in the 800-yard freestyle relay, and we were already over that. The utter domination displayed by the athletes has raised concerns about their continued participation in the historic competition. Why? Everybody likes a good freak show. Why do you think the circus toured for over 100 years? Thomas, 22, is allowed to compete as a woman because they feel like it. Henig, 22, who uses he, him pronouns, that's nice, has yet to begin taking hormones and stripped down to briefs after cruising to victory in the race while swimming in a women's bathing suit. Not going to mention the fact that they've had top surgery. Not at all. Not one bit. Not going to mention anything else going on. No, of course not. That would be a racism, I'd imagine. But after a very intensive week of very dour stories and very important stories, a rather historic news week in the greater North American zeitgeist, I suppose, it's just nice to end the week proper on just the fucking aspiring freak show. Good on it, and I'm glad that it's happening at the Ivy League so that these fucking giga brains can go ahead and try to rationalize this to make any sort of fucking sense. But with that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.